Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with Lofty Souls, the Sid Reigns event Lufenia Plus. Bringing a no-burst team featuring Sid Reigns, Agrias, and Cinque. That's the main reason I wanted to post this fight, is I wanted to give Cinque a shot. Lucked into her LD on the free pull, and we're gonna see how she plays. We already know that Sid Reigns plays very well. And Agrias, of course, is a bit of an MVP. We're doing a bit of nifty tech at the start here. Want to shout out Eamon and Ganro, a couple of fine members of the community who inspired me to try the Rosa base call in order to get past the recast. Because you see there, it missed the two guys on the side there, but for Cinque, she re-raised and doesn't have to deal with the debuffs. Since party-wide evasion isn't really a common thing, that seemed like a pretty solid way to get around that first recast. Now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and start, delaying and launching and just generally being a bully to this stupid dragon. When we have a moment to ourselves, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. They really help me out. I just hit 400 subscribers, and I'm super excited about that. Onward and upward, guys. This is pretty cool. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the support already. You'll notice I used the base Kurosame call and didn't use the LD call here. The reason was I wasn't sure if I was going to be giving this guy any turns or not. And so I wanted the option to be able to drop that second LD call if I ended up needing to give him, if I ended up giving him turns and it went over. Of course, this is actually a mistake because, as I've said before, if he's confused and can't act, the Kurosame debuff won't tick over 5, so it's okay if I give him turns so long as he's paralyzed during them. So in hindsight, I should have just went for broke and done all, done the full base call LD 5 stacks thing. In any event, so we've used two of our, we've used all 3 of our techie calls, because the other techie call was a mid-Italian, which, as you can see from the turn order, is great. If you can avoid the turn rate down that he drops from the recast, for instance, Rosa call, or some lucky misses, you can then use a mid-Italian's base call to drop turn rate down on him, and he'll just kind of take forever to have a turn. A second turn anyway. And then once you're ready to, you can just use the LD to delete it, and you don't really need to let him take another turn after that recast. More or less. You'll see, he ends up getting a couple of turns, but no actions thanks to Agrias. So, otherwise, this is pretty standard. There we go, you see the confusion. But it's okay, we'll just reapply that real quick. It's counted up to 4 stacks now on the Kurosame. I'm just quietly kicking myself. I could be getting 5% extra HP damage. Ugh, fool! So Cinque is pretty cool. She does cool attacks like that and goes, Totsuki! And that's great. And we're all here for the Totsuki, right? I'm pretty sure we are. It's basically why you click this video, I assume. I want to thank my co-host on the live stream, Type Zoe, for inspiring me to give Cinque a shot. She stands the entirety of Type 0 pretty hard, but Cinque seems to be a bit of a favorite just for personality, and also that voice line is pretty great. So this guy's gained a whole bunch of brave. We're finally pressing the Kurosame LD. I should have done this several turns ago, but I don't think we are suffering that badly for having not done it. And hey, now the entire party's enchanted after he got his damage reduction, so that's good, right? That's a good thing? Yeah, it's a good thing. So other than that, we hit him with the EX, the home run swing. I'm a sucker for any move that is called like home run swing or home run whatever. It just, I don't know, there's something for me very satisfying about like bringing the imagery of the home run into something. I was always a sucker for the Team Rocket blasting off against Star Twinkle thing. I just think it's a very funny trope. Not that Team Rocket isn't very sympathetic. Shout out to Pokemon Go players who are currently dealing with a Team Rocket event of some kind in the game. I haven't really been paying attention. What are we doing here? We are trying to decide what button to press. We're going to use the AA here. This was me figuring out how to use Cinque, and so I was like, oh, I can get a delay here if I use that AA. That's cool, and then I can pull Cinque up using Sid Reigns. There we go. Look at that, figuring out how to make the character work. So as you know, Cinque on her plus versions, delays herself, but also delays the enemy. So you can use Rains to pull her up, and they make a great team like that. Since I don't have Aphmau, I expect these two will probably be getting a fair bit of play together in lieu of the, what do you call it, Rains Mao? Is that that's what the kids are calling it? There's a deletion. You'll see the turns are now in the Shadow Realm. Finally pressing that EX button. I said this before, Rains has a bunch of really satisfying buttons to press. It's just a bunch of like angel wings and cool lights and shit. You'd love to see it. It's just really cool. Whereas most of Cinque's buttons are just kind of whacking with a mace, and that's also very satisfying in its own way. I don't want to say there was a mistake, but I missed out on some damage there because the HP damage refund obviously did nothing against the HP damage shield that this guy puts up at 50%. Bringing in Y'shtola BT Plus friend. Honestly, a second Rains friend probably would have been better than this, but I was like, I want Brave gains, and I'm taking out my support, so I want to support with gains. And in hindsight, I'm not convinced this was the right move, but as you will see throughout the course of the fight, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, Rains and, I mean, two synergy characters here, so you'd hope that I'd be able to get through this without having to make optimal play, and we sure haven't throughout the course of this. Dotsuki! It's satisfying to say. I know it's a bit of a joke with the community. Shoutouts to Black Cloud, Black Nero on YouTube, but I don't know. It's fun to say. I'll say that. Anywho, what are we doing here? We're doing not much damage is what we're doing. There we go. So 300,000 from a pretty dinky launch. That wasn't the worst. Although, Rains certainly we expect a bit more from. Is that a motorcycle? I'm sorry about that. You deserve better. There we go. There's 30,000 damage. Yeah, Y'shtola really isn't pulling her weight here. I like to hope that the auras and the Brave gain from the burst effect are helping, but it's kind of hard to tell because we were trucking along just fine with Agrias, so I'm a little on the fence about what it did. We're bringing Rosa call here. This is something I realized I should have done way sooner. The idea there was just, well, having the Rosa call up, the refund to get the Brave gain up, and as you can see, this entire fight was a bit of a herp-derp. It's late at night. I'm just going to Cinque my way through this with Rains. Rains my way through this with Cinque? I don't know. So I do believe it's time to... Are we going to summon here? I was trying to decide. Do I want to summon? You know what? Screw it. We're just going to let them take a turn. It doesn't matter. There we go. Take your turn. Agrias will be back in a second. Can reapply Fated Moly. 400,000 damage off Cinque. That's pretty great. There's a ton of HP damage up on this team, so it's okay that we're really kind of hitting for diddly squat in terms of actual Brave damage. Using that cool free launch attack thing that he gets from his LD. I'm pretty sure that I didn't use... I straight up skipped using one of those at one point. Don't know what that was about. Just air comboing them into the sky. There's not much to say at this point. Most of the interesting stuff already kind of happened. Like the stuff I wanted to kind of comment on. There'll be a little bit of a mild misplay here in that I probably should have just used the LD there. Just wasn't really thinking, because as you'll see, I was telling myself, okay, I'll save the LDs for the summon phase or something, but it doesn't really shape out the way I told myself it was going to, so really, I should just press the LD there. Now, let's go into the summon, because I'm tired of giving this guy turns. Go ahead and use that EX. And yeah, just a million damage in the launch, NBD, late in the fight, it's all good. Who's even counting? So this was another silly question I did. I ended up using Home Run Swing Plus here, figuring it has more it'll deal more damage, you know? And I'm going to be getting a copy of Home Run Swing back when I use the EX, and you can see how I'm going to end up not using all my LDs because I used that Home Run Swing before. Minor optimization, similar to the Kurosame thing earlier, where it's like, it doesn't kill the run, but if you're watching this, hopefully it's reminding you of a way that you can improve your play if this is something where you're like, oh yeah, I do that too, or oh, I should have, I should avoid doing that in the future. I know people like to post runs as flexes and stuff, but I think the most valuable thing to come out of these runs is education. You know, teaching folks kind of how to play better, how to avoid playing badly, team building, you know, things like that. I guess, well, there's one other thing I think that comes of value out of these run videos. I was trying to time it to do a Totsuki, but screw it. You've heard me do that enough. If you want to see some Totsukis, go watch Indolent Lard's video of Cinque in this thing. He did a pretty great one with, featuring Black Cloud. Totsuki! I lied. I was going to do one more. Sorry about that. Ugh, God, it feels... It's kind of awkward and cringe, but it's also really fun to say. Anyway, we're EXing this guy. He's not going to get another turn. That immediate Italian turn rate down, combined with the speed down from Kurosame, is just too much. No complaints here, of course. I think, does immediate Italian come with turn speed down too? I think... I don't know. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that this guy is dead. Why I decided to... Oh, right, here's a fun little trick. Something I didn't realize until now, this moment, is if you let his skill 1 buff fall off, he doesn't get the follow-up, even though the LD enhances it, it doesn't give it. So that was educational. One last little bit of... I told you, it's all about learning. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next video. Adios.